Welcome back to my channel. My name is Olive and today's class is a yoga and mobility sequence for weightlifters, so powerlifters, Olympic lifters, strongmen, and this is inspired by my episode with Gus and Charlie, who are a powerlifter and strongman respectively, and yeah, I really hope you enjoy. In terms of equipment, all you're going to need is a yoga block and your wonderful self, and I will see you on the mat. We're going to start by coming into our tabletop position using our block and just start to work into some circles for our hip whilst also engaging through our hamstrings. So bring yourself into a tabletop position. You're going to place a block in between your left calf and your left hamstring. Give it a good old squeeze to kind of hold it in place. Pressing through the hands and the right knee, lifting left knee off the ground, and just start to take it through some circular movements. So I would start nice and small with the circles, gain control. See that you're still squeezing through all the ranges, change direction, and then maybe if you want to slowly get bigger. Okay, and swap it over onto the right leg. Take it down, squeeze it, reset, and then again start with those small circles. Change direction, gain the control. Still squeezing, still holding the block. And when you're ready, take it down and let's release. So you can pop the block off to the side. From here we are going to come up into our squat position and just start to work through the knees, the ankles, the hips a little bit more. So bring yourself into a squat. It doesn't matter whether your heels are on the ground for this or not, because we're going to start by simply rocking side to side. What I like to do when I'm rocking is allow my feet to kind of roll onto the outer edge to expose the inside of the foot and the arch. And I also like to balance on the heels so my toes get a bit of movement as well. You can even start to press the knees out towards the side with the arms to get just a little bit more feedback. Oh, they are disco lights. You could even start to reach the arms above the head. Again, just see whatever feels good. Okay, and then from here, we're going to come down into just holding a squat position. So again, whether the heels are elevated or whether they're flat. And we're going to take palms together towards the chest, just so that we can start to press the elbows into the knees. So we're just getting a little bit of resistance created. I sometimes get a really nice stretch into my traps when I do this. You might as well, or you might not. But we're going to hold, we're going to breathe here. Think about pinning the toes to the ground using the glutes. We're going to go for one more breath. Then we're going to take it into a halfway lift position. So you're going to release the hands down to the ground. You're going to start to push through the feet, lift the hips. And you're going to take your hands to your shins and look forward. So squeezing the shoulder blades together, you're thinking about coming into almost like a good morning position. And then from here, we're just going to start to flow between the two. So we come down into a squat, let the arms rest, and then lift up into your halfway lift position. So a little bit of kind of active work for the posterior chain. You flow through at your own pace. See what it feels like. You can add in some variations, so maybe you add a little bit of a twist in your halfway lift. Opposite hand, opposite leg, whatever feels good. Then we're going to take it back into our squat. And from here, interlace the hands, take them behind your head. You're going to start to draw the chin down to the chest, just breathing here into the back of the neck. Nice deep breaths. Rolling with one more breath here. And then releasing, looking forwards. Beautiful. Okay, from here take it up into a passive forward fold. So you're going to start to push through, lift the hips up, cradle the elbows, and just start to let yourself rock and sway side to side. Maybe add a little bit of a bounce into the body, whatever feels good. You could even hold the backs of the calves, or you can hold the hands behind the legs, whatever feels accessible. Okay. And then from here, we're going to come into a juicy like little lat stretch / twist for the body. So if you take your hands down to the ground, you're going to heel toe your feet a little bit wider. So taking a wide-legged forward fold, bending the legs if we need. And we're going to walk both hands around to the left foot. Hold the left foot, the left ankle, the left leg, wherever. And what we're going to do with the arms connected to the left leg, we're going to drop the chin to our chest and start to bend into our right leg and then pulse back out. So as we're doing this, we're starting to get a real nice stretch down the right lats, also bringing in a little bit of mobility to the right ankle, the right knee, and also getting a real juicy stretch down into our left adductors. So swap sides over whenever you're ready, both hands to the right leg, and again pulsing in and out. Letting the head relax. This time working into left ankle or knee, left lat, right adductor. Then walk it back into the middle. You're going to start to heel toe the feet all the way back in. And then from here, bring it down into a kneeling toe squat. So start by bringing the hips upwards. And you're going to tuck the feet under. Just going to get a little bit of a stretch down to the sole of the foot. This might be enough for you, or you can start to slowly sink the weight back, landing into the heels, and then maybe sitting down. And just see what it feels like down the soles of the feet. Again, you might be here, you might be more upright, or all the way extended. Just see how you feel. And we're just going to hold and breathe here. See what's going on. And maybe in the process, you start to just rock yourself side to side, bringing in a little bit of thoracic mobility in the process. Okay, righty ho. So, from here, we're going to find stillness, swivel both legs round towards the front and extending them in front of you. We're going to take the left foot towards the inside of the right thigh. Coming into my favorite position of revolved Janu Shasana or head to knee pose. You're going to rotate your chest towards the left leg. You're going to take your right hand down to right leg. Inhale to draw your left arm up. And exhale, leaning towards the right. So again, quite a beautiful position for the lats and predominantly for the quadratus lumborum muscle. So towards this area of the spine. I quite like keeping my top arm there, but you're welcome to keep it overhead. Or maybe you have the reach to go for the toes. But maybe holding this position for about 30 seconds in total, or a couple of deep breaths. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to bring it all the way back up, and we're going to swap those legs over. So left leg extends, right foot to the inside of the thigh. Turn the chest and shoulders to the bent leg. We're going to take our left arm down. Inhale, right arm up. And then exhale to bend. Again, see what type of hand position feels best for your top arm, wherever you want to take it, whatever feels good. And once again, just holding, breathing here. See what feels good. Okay, let's go one more breath. And when you're ready, bringing yourself all the way back up and out of the position. Lovely. So from here, we're going to come into some thoracic mobility. So bring yourself to a comfortable seat, or you can come all the way up to kneeling. It's a little bit easier to kind of target deeper range with this. You're going to start by taking your hands across your chest. And we're going to think about moving this portion of the spine just to start with. So we're not moving from below the hip. So you're going to think about tipping forward, so compressing rib cage to hips, and then you're going to twist towards the right hand side, and then you're going to bend to the right hand side, so think about dropping the right shoulder down, left shoulder lifts up, and circle behind you, bend now to the left, so left shoulder down, right shoulder up, and then twist, so right shoulder forwards, and then roll in front. So we fold, we twist, we bend, we extend, we bend, we twist, we fold. Or you just end up creating big circular kinds of movements in the body, where the rib cage sort of changes, going closer towards the hips and then moving further away. There's a really beautiful controlled way to bring in some range of motion into your thoracic spine. It's a technique called controlled articulate rotations, or CARs. And over time you can start to make it bigger or again smaller. I quite like doing this sometimes with my arms extended away from my body because I can get a little bit of feedback into my shoulders and I can change direction. Okay. And then slowly start to wind it down, find some stillness. We're going to bring it down to the floor and take it into some scapular push-ups. So spreading the fingers nice and wide, stacking the shoulders over the wrist, having a light brace into the core, so we're just maintaining our spine to neutral. You're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Imagine you're like trying to burst a blueberry between them, and then you're going to press through and allow that blueberry to now roll off. And again, you're going to squeeze, draw it in, and then push through to separate. So from your tabletop position, you're going to start to walk both hands round towards the left-hand side. So kind of come out to about 45 degrees, dropping your left elbow down to the ground, and you're going to slide your right arm away from you and stay up onto your fingertips. So think about like tented fingers. You're going to press down into that right hand, draw the chin down to the chest, let the head relax, keeping the hips elevated. And the more that you press down into that right arm, the greater that stretch sensation can feel for the lats. So focus on nice deep breaths here. Again, holding for about 30 seconds or so. Nice. And when you're ready, start to walk the hands all the way back in and over to the other side. So the right hand side to about 45 degrees, right elbow to the ground, the left arm extends in front, chin to the chest and press. Lowering down, finding the breath. Breathing here. Again, the more you press, the greater it may feel. Let's go one more breath. And you're going to walk it all the way back in and take it down into a forearm tabletop. So we're going to work into our thoracic mobility just a little bit more. So from here, you're going to push into the forearms, into the elbows, start to draw the chin to the chest, rounding the back, and then allow the belly button to drop down towards the ground, squeeze the shoulder blades, gazing forwards ever so slightly. And just maneuvering yourself between these two positions, as and when you like. See what feels good. Is there an area that feels particularly restricted or an area that you need to work on a little bit more? If so, spend more time holding that pose or that variation. Okay. When you're ready, bring it all the way back to your tabletop. We're going to have a little look at some movement now in terms of rotation for the thoracic spine. So combining two movements together. You're going to start by taking your left hand behind your ear, and you're going to rotate your chest towards the left-hand side. Try keep the hips like level with one another. They're not the primary movers, it's our thoracic. And then as you pass back down to the ground, left hand is going to pass behind your right wrist. I bring myself down to my left shoulder. Have a little press through the left arm, and then you're going to rotate and pivot back out towards the left. So my right arm doesn't move. It's acting as like a stabilizer for my thoracic and for my left shoulder. And maybe you find yourself constantly moving between these positions, or maybe it just feels quite good to hang out in one of them. Okay. The next time you find yourself passing through the middle, we'll swap arms over. So right hand behind the head, rotate to the right, and then thread it through. And again, just keep it flowing. See whatever feels good. Push down into that left hand. Push down into the right arm when it's threadled. Okay, nice. The next time you're passing through the middle, grounding that arm and maybe having just a little bit of a roll through the shoulders. I like to think about when big cats are stalking their prey in the wild, how they kind of roll through their shoulder blades. It's just quite a nice way to loosen off everything. Beautiful. So we're going to finish off with a couple more movements for the lower body. So we're going to come into a lunge complex. So we're going to start standing up for this. And this is just quite a nice dynamic movement to warm up into the legs, to warm up to knees, ankles and your hips. So you're going to start with feet about hip distance apart. We are going to keep our right leg grounded. We're going to step forwards first of all with that left leg out to about 12 o'clock and then bend, drop back knee to the floor and then take it back. From here we're now going to step across to about like between 10 and 11, drop back knee and take it back. Then across to 9, Cossack squat so you stay elevated and then back. Now behind you to 6 o'clock, down and back. So you can repeat it a couple more times. So forwards, 45-degree angle, back knee to the floor. It's got a weird little twist in. Cossack squat out to the side, and then behind. And one more time. So forwards, 45 degrees, to the side, and then behind. Okay, let's pop onto the other leg. I'll face the camera. So balance onto the left foot, step forwards right leg, come down, out to 45 degrees, to your Cossack. You don't have to go super low, and behind. And I go 2 more times, so forwards, to 45, to the side, and then back. And I go one more time, in front, 45, to our Cossack, yes, and then behind. So it's also, as you clearly saw, I didn't mess up there, a little bit of brain training as well to remember which leg you're bending into and just becoming aware of our proprioception and our body in space. You can obviously do as many rounds as you like of that, but for the point of this, I was keeping it nice and short and sweet. Okay, I'm going to finish off with perhaps my favourite stretch for the hips. We're going to come into dragon. So for your dragon, taking the hands down to the ground, you're going to step that left leg forwards. So kind of framing the hands, tuck the toes of the right leg and slide that leg behind you, slightly further back, and then bring the knee back down to the ground. So just increase the distance between the hip and the knee, rather than the knee being directly underneath, it's a bit further away. And you're going to heel toe that left foot out towards the side. Let the knee fall away. Inside of the foot can lift up. And what you can do is start to take that left hand to press the knee, to lift the chest and slowly rotate. And again, holding here for a couple of deep breaths or 30 seconds. You could also drop down onto your forearm, your elbow instead, if that felt comfortable. It's more comfortable for me right now because I've got tendonitis in my hands. But yeah, see what feels good. You could also gently pulse. I'm going to take one more breath here and then bring it all the way back up. Heel toe that foot back in and then swap the legs over. So right leg comes forwards, lift the back knee, scooch it back, heel toe the right foot away from you, and then going with the right hand to gently, gently press. Maybe finding a bit of a pulse or dropping down onto our left elbow, whatever feels good. Again, holding 30 seconds or a couple of deep breaths. See how you feel. And then when you're ready, gradually coming back out of it and releasing. So I hope you enjoy that quick little snippet into mobility and yoga kind of movement for weightlifters. Do let me know if you'd like more videos like this in the future and I'll happily help out, or if there were other suggestions that you thought of and you wanted to see more of, do let me know. But don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Oh, alright. Sorry, I'm fine. You're such garbage content from me.